Hello everybody, this is me Z here and welcome back to another art commentary video. This art commentary is a little bit different than the topics which I usually discuss because it is something I realized as I was progressing through my art journey and decided to share my thoughts and opinions with all of you. If you happen to find yourself enjoying this video, make sure you leave a like and subscribe to the channel so that you can see more art commentaries just like this one. A little bit about the drawing I will be working on in this video. So I originally worked on this piece for my version of the yearbook trend with my OCRA. I drew her as a kid at first and then drew her grown-up version later on, which is kind of like in a mafia setting and attire. I absolutely love how the final result turned out, so do stick to the end of the video so you get to take a look for yourself. The topic I would like to touch upon today has to do with using references and why it's okay to use them. For the longest time, the biggest debate in the art community has been regarding the usage of references and whether or not an artist should use them or even use them for their drawings. Unfortunately, many people have taken this in a more negative light that when they get to know that an artist has used a reference, they're probably going to get accused of tracing. Trust me, there have been many instances where I was surfing on the internet and people were so negative about the usage of references. I am not sure why, but that doesn't mean that you shouldn't use references. References are a major helping hand whenever you're working on a drawing. You get an idea of how you would want your character to look like or what you would want them to do in the drawing without making everything look static and boring. On the other hand, references are also an essential tool when you are practicing for yourself, be it anatomy, perspective, or any other aspect of art. Beginner artists are usually encouraged to practice and enhance their skills by making use of references, by tracing over them and see how the form of the body is shaped out or how a certain character's facial expression is working out. While it is good to use references as a practice for improving your skills, in the example I have mentioned, it is also important to keep in mind that we do not claim that specific piece as ours, especially when you're tracing over somebody else's art. I believe it's okay if you're tracing over a professional photograph, which is meant to be for artists. But if you're using somebody else's art, make sure that you give them the credit they deserve and not claim it as your own to avoid speculations. The most important part about using references is that not only does it help you to enhance and polish your skills, you also create a sort of muscle memory because when you're working on a drawing and you have practiced enough, be it with or without references, you will find that you have started to draw your characters in dynamic poses without any issues whatsoever. And on top of that, you will also find yourself gaining a better understanding of anatomy and the form of the body. Also, through this specific method that many artists conduct studies where they will take a piece they really like and try to recreate it in their own style by studying the artist's colors, their strokes, lighting, etc. Allow me to tell you guys a little bit about myself and my experience with references. From the very beginning, I had always declared myself as a self-taught artist who mainly used her skill of observation to create drawings. And while this isn't inherently a bad thing, it still negatively affected me in the long run because after 7 years of doing digital art, I still struggle with anatomy and I absolutely refused to use references, let alone take a look at how the anatomy is or even use it to enhance and correct my own drawings for such a long time. And because I absolutely refused to make use of references, my drawings unfortunately still look a little bit static to this day but I have started to see little improvements, so I hope to enhance my skills further and achieve the style I really want to. If you're somebody like me who only started to use references nowadays, here are some tips I want to share with you all in order for you to use references a little bit more diligently and not be like me. Number one, I have discussed before, and it is the art of tracing. When I say tracing, I don't mean that you trace somebody else's work and publish it online and claim that it's yours. Absolutely not. I mean it in the sense that you take a drawing, trace over it, get to know how certain shapes help to form the body and how the anatomy is making the drawing pop out a lot more than before. Tip number 2 would be to make use of those silly reference sheets. Now, what do I mean by this? Well, everybody has taken a look at those emotion charts made by many artists where you can draw your character in a set specific facial expression or so. I did this a couple of times and I had a lot of fun working on little doodles like this one on the screen. It helped me to work better on my character's facial expressions and ended up mimicking them in real life as well. Another tip I would like to give you all is making use of 3D models. Listen, making use of 3D models has also been quite debatable a while back. However, I don't necessarily believe that they're a bad thing to use because you will see that professional artists also make use of 3D models to make their lives easier. So, the best resource for 3D models I know is Just SketchUp. It has a variety of 3D models you can use from a child to a fully grown adult, and you can literally customize your model however you like and adjust the camera angle to your liking as well. Programs like Clip Studio Paint also come with the 3D model feature, but for those of us who unfortunately have to search far and wide for those 3D models, Just SketchUp is the best one to go. My last tip would be to use yourself as a reference. I cannot express how many times I have used my hand, my body, my face as a reference for a drawing. It's a lot of fun, and while my pictures aren't inherently good quality, it still helps me to further break down the anatomy of, let's say, the hand or a certain pose. And overall, it's just really fun. So to summarize, some of the tips I provided in order for you to use references a bit more effectively would include tracing for practice, the silly reference charts, making use of 3D models, and lastly, using yourself as a reference. And with that, we officially come to the end of this art commentary video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and again, if you did, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more digital art related content, and especially if you enjoyed this art commentary video. I will see you all in my next video, and in the meantime, I shall go and get some sleep. Bye everyone!